What's up, guys? In today's video I'm going to be going over my leg slash lat workout that I do, and I'm going to be going over the two lifts that I like to do for the lats in particular, and I'm going to be explaining what's so great about them. Alright, so the first lift that we're going to be doing is the straight leg toe touch deadlift. And I only say deadlift because there's no other word to describe the lift. It is a deadlift, but it's not a deadlift like the way you would perceive a deadlift, or rather most of you would perceive a deadlift. It's just what I do, and I call it a deadlift. But in reality, it's actually a standing leg curl cable row with a barbell. So there you go. We call it a straight leg toe touch. You can call it whatever you want. Um, yeah, so starting off, this is the first set with 305 pounds. I'm aiming for 8 reps, and as you're gonna see, this set was catastrophic for me, and I still completed it. So that should just show you and me that this is too light for me. So that's why I went up in weight after this. But anyway, so yeah, as you can see, straight leg toe touch, very self-explanatory. And yeah, quick point. Somebody's gonna mention that my knees aren't straight. Well, one, that has to do with the stance. I decided to take a wider stance than normal just to give my hands more space to get in between my legs. But in actuality, I did it just to engage the gracilis more, and that's a muscle in your leg that adducts your leg and flexes the knee. But as it turns out, making your legs wider, and I didn't think about this the first time around when I did it, making your legs wider decreases your height, which brings you closer to the floor, which brings the barbell closer to the floor, which decreases the range of motion, which means you get less range of motion at the knee, less range of motion at the back. And so going ahead, for future reference, I probably won't take as wide of a stance anymore on this lift. I'll probably go back to my shoulder width, but I will still continue to use 2 pairs of plates, because when you only use 1 pair of plates, if you ever do that, you will find that your legs are like on the edge of the plates, and they're super awkward. The corners are higher than the inside, so the outsides of your feet are elevated and the insides of your feet are de-elevated. And so yeah, we're going to be going to a narrower stance for future reference. And going on, yeah, so people ask me, how does this train lats? Well, visually, as you can see right here, this is your lat. And when you take a close grip like this, it stretches your lat out more, because your lat is a horizontal abductor. It stretches more under horizontal adduction than if you were to bring it out wide. Also, that's why I don't like wide grip anything for lats, because that's counterintuitive for the lats. If your goal was to stretch the lats and put them under more tension, specifically the outer lats, which is really what everybody's talking about when they talk about lats, honestly, you would take a closer grip. And that is why I take a really close grip on this straight leg toe touch to stretch the lats more. And the rear delts. Rear delts are also a horizontal abductor. So are the traps. Now, this angle isn't ideal for traps for a couple of reasons. One is you don't get as much motion at the scaps as you do at the shoulders and the sternoclavicular joint. But anyway, going on. This set was catastrophic, as you can see, but we powered right through it. As the doctor whatever his name is would say, we horse cocked right through it. And this is not ideal. But you do what you gotta do, right? All right, so this set is just terrible. It just look at it. You can see I've had enough. Even though I got 8 reps, I decided to go up and wait to redeem myself after that catastrophe because I also noticed how easy it was. Come on, after 3 fails like that to do 8 reps, obviously 305 wasn't heavy enough, right? So in this set, I'm a little bit more careful. I don't start as close to the rack, to the pins, so that way I don't hit them this time. And thank God it doesn't happen this time, but it already happened. And this time I'm also more mindful about keeping my knees straight because as you can see, my knees are straighter in this set than they were in the previous set. So this is the ideal angle, and when I take the wider stance, seems to take away from that straightness in the leg. But that's okay. You know, everything is a work in progress. We're always learning new things. I'm always learning new things. Contrary to what people believe, I don't know everything. But like I said, this right here, this is not what I want to do. But that happened because I had to rewrap my straps because they keep coming off. But as you can see, 310 went up pretty easily. And so, yeah, when it comes to the hamstrings, the the part that attaches to your knee only works when you extend the knee. So when you do an RDL or stiff leg deadlifts without straight knees, you're not really engaging that muscle as much. Now with the stiff leg deadlift, you're engaging it more than with an RDL because with an RDL, you flex the knee like a lot. So what happens is you don't engage that muscle at all. With a stiff leg deadlift, you're keeping it in a neutral position. You're not extending. You're not extended. You're not flexed. You're in this dead space. So it works, but maybe not ideally. I mean, it still works, but when you do it with a straight leg, you engage the entire hamstring from the knee to the ass, and that makes it a better hamstring exercise. Better, in quotation marks, because nothing is really better, right? And so the third set, we're going to be doing a drop set because those 2 sets were challenging, and I like to do a drop set with higher reps after, where I get to focus more on the stretch and the posture and all that mind muscle, this and that. As you can see in this set, I'm going to have even straighter legs because I'm even more mindful about what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. So set number 3, this is 270 by the way. I'm definitely going to go to the narrower stance because this is good. This is definitely good, but we can do a little better, and we could probably get a little bit more range of motion in the back as well. And also, people are going to claim that this is a lower back exercise, and it technically is an erector exercise, but it isn't a lower back exercise for me in the context of it's not heavy for me, for my lower back. Therefore, it is a lower back exercise, but it's not a challenging lower back exercise. If I want to challenge it more, I'd use a heavier weight. That's all there is to it. And I probably wouldn't use this grip because you don't get as much range of motion at the lower back when you take a narrower grip. When you take a wider grip, there's more range of motion, more lower back involvement. With this grip, it's mainly a lat and teres biased and rear delt biased deadlift. But if I took it out a little wider, just a little bit, it would be a bit more traps and a bit more rhomboids if I kept my lower back straight. And why is that? It's because when your spine is neutral, in order to get to the floor, you have to protract, and so your range of motion comes from your scapula. And when your back is rounded, you're not getting as much of that as you are getting range of motion from your spine and your shoulders. And with a neutral spine, you would still be working your lats a lot. Let's not let's not confuse the audience. Um, yeah. So that's just some of the nuances of this lift. It's a very convoluted, complex lift, and I love it. And right here, I had to rewrap because this bullshit kept happening on every set. I really was in a rush today or that day that I did this, so it didn't. It kept doing that thing where it kept rolling out. But here, as you can see, I'm just doing partial reps, and then that's it. 10 reps, 10 easy reps. We're gonna go back to we're gonna go back to the narrow stance. I don't like I don't like having to do that with the knees and not get the straightness that I want. You know, I'm very neurotic about that stuff. Okay, so what's the second lift that is so great for the lats? Um, yeah, so it's on a peg deck. Let's get that out of the way. It's oh look, as you can see, more lat. Like I mentioned, when your arm comes around like this, you get more stretch in the outer lat and the whole lat, but the outer lat, definitely the outer lat. And what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, so all right, how am I gonna explain this? So let's say there's a wall or a bench or a seat or a pad, and I have it pressing to my shoulder the way I'm doing it in this lift. What that's going to do is it's going to stabilize my torso so I can rotate or bend my torso and open up this iliac lat. And what is an iliac lat? The iliac lat is the lower outer part of your lat that's more on the outside of your lat. It's down here, you can feel it down here relative to up here and in the back of the outer lat, which is thoracic. Right below it is the iliac lat, and that's what this stuff here is, right? As you can see through my shirt, there's a contraction going on right here. You can see it like through my shirt if you pay close attention. Yeah, so what's so great about this weird, ridiculous looking lift? Okay. So your teres comes up and around like this. Teres major is the muscle in your upper back. And when your shoulders in this abducted position and pulling like this, puts a lot of tension on your teres major and your iliac lat and some of your outer lat as well. And so this lift is really, really specific to this thing right here, to the muscle that would be like right here. And on top of that, oh wow, that's like 265 pounds. I'm so strong, even though it's like literally 1 inch of range of motion. Oh look, did you see that? That's like 2 inches right there. It's also an oblique and QL exercise, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best for those because you don't get as much range of motion, in my opinion, as you could, but it's also a long head exercise. It's really a full body exercise, honestly, a full upper body exercise. It works everything so much, and the setup is so much fun. As you can see, it's so much fun planting that opposite foot on the ground and finding the wedge and everything. I love it. I love these ridiculous lifts. And here, as you can see, as this goes overhead, you start stretching the long head. Look, so cool. You get to see a pulse, so you know I'm not lying. It's a really cool lift. All right, so that's a total of 5 sets. I didn't include the last set. I just included one side on the left, one side the right, because you guys don't need to see it twice, honestly. But anyway, so that's my lower body slash lat workout. And obviously there was quads. I didn't record the quads. You guys don't care about quads. I don't care about quads. You guys just care about lats and traps and rhomboids and all that. Anyway, so that's the workout. You guys wanted to see it. And there you go. So, is there anything else I forgot? Is there any interesting information here that I forgot to talk about? So I use the opposite shoulder to wedge myself in there. As you can see, my opposite shoulder is planted into the pad. That's a lot more stable, and I would take this lift over the pull downs where you turn like this, because when you do that with the pull down, the way the optimal people show you how to do pull downs, you're not really getting rotation, lateral flexion like this. You're just voluntarily doing this and voluntarily doing that. And on this lift, you're involuntarily pulled like this, and you're fighting to pull yourself back like this. So that's why it's better for the iliac. That's why it's that's why I like it. It's, we have the straight leg toe touch, which is protraction, retraction dominant of the sternoclavicular joint. So it pulls you forward and you retract on the way up. So it's upper lat dominant. It also involves the lower lats a lot because of the way you have to shrug forward and up. They're both great lifts for slightly different reasons. This is more iliac and teres dominant. That one is more outer lat, lower lat dominant, even though they train the same muscles overall. Even the straight leg toe touch is a long head exercise, and I've made a video about that before. So yeah, I think that's all we're going to talk about today. This video is like 20 minutes long almost. I hope you guys aren't confused. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I don't get any more ridiculous questions or ridiculous claims. Matter of fact, let's just get this out of the way. All of you people, and I'm not talking about my fans, I'm talking about you random people, come onto my videos to make these ridiculous, stupid claims about, oh, you're gonna get injured. Oh my God, I'm waiting for you to get injured doing that lift. Well, let's go back to it. Oh, so I'm gonna get injured, huh? Did I get injured right there? Did I get injured? Did I get injured? No, I didn't get injured. Oh, but I'm gonna get injured doing a normal. Oh, did I get injured right there? No, I didn't get injured. Oh, but that's only 2 times. What's the worst? Like, you only messed up twice. Why would you get injured? Oh, it happened 3 times. And not once did I get injured doing that. But apparently, when I do all these other lifts and this doesn't happen, I'm gonna get injured. Does that make any sense to you guys? Oh yeah. Even when I fail the lift, I still don't get injured. But when I do it with the third of the weight, I'm gonna get injured. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. You guys need to stay in your lane doing whatever you do, playing your Fortnite, playing your video games, and stay away from lifting. Don't talk about lifting. You clearly know less than nothing. Your advice is worse than useless. I just had to talk about that because I'm really, really tired of hearing from illiterate people talk about things that they have no idea about. Just putting it out there. And I know I'm going to continue getting people coming into my videos claiming, oh, you're going to get injured. Oh, shoulder snap. Oh, you're going to tear your lower back. They'll never learn, and they'll never get jacked. I hope this video has been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.